Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night. Oh, it's Gregatron. How's everybody doing? So I wanted to show you guys these replicas in the good handbook or brochure, pamphlet, whatever you want to call it. Earlier this week, well, last week now I guess, I showed off this. Alright, my double barrel pistol. But there's so many cool guns that are available out there. Gun replicas, that is. I wanted to show you guys the whole thing. So before I jump into it, this is from DENIX, made in Spain. This is where you can find it. If you want to pause that, screenshot it, whatever. But you can also go to Noble Wares. I'll put their website also in the description box, because they sell stuff online also. Or you can just, for example, find the part number and just type the part number in Google, and you can find stuff that way. As long as you have the title and the part number, stuff's available to you. Some of it is sold out, I'm sure. Like this. If you type in 1113 double barrel pistol, this will pop right up. So some of it I'm sure is sold out, because there's different replicas that are more popular than others. But just keep looking. If there's something you really like, you'll definitely be able to find it. Hopefully. Unless if it's just, like I said. Unless if everybody likes it, that's a different story. Now it's hard to find. So without further ado, I'm just going to break it up into sections. You got your Western and American Civil War stuff from 1861 to 1899. All right, let me zoom out first. Get a good. So hopefully you guys can actually see individually, but just in case, we'll do it like this. I'm not gonna read every single gun because there's a whole lot. So I'm just gonna do it like this. Like a show and tell. You know. Excuse me. If there's anything specifically that stands out to me, I'll maybe stop and talk about it. Like this guy. I mean, who wouldn't want to have something like this in their house? 45 caliber Peacemaker. Interesting. These look pretty similar. This one looks longer. They're revolvers. Again, just get the part number. Alright. So those are your pistols for the most part. I do like having the idea of a revolver replica in my house. As far as these goes, I don't know which one I'd pick, because these look great in the book, but once you see them in person, it's like a different story. They look even better. That's my point. You got your double barrel pistols. I talked about that a minute ago. More Peacemakers. Mare's leg rifle. Okay. Gonna work my way down. Well, yeah, let me work my way down this way. Kentucky knife, USA 19th C. Alright. Check the part number. You can just type in gun with the part number and I'm sure it'll pop up. Google got stuff. YouTube got stuff as far as reviews goes. eBay has stuff, I'm sure. I'm gonna come down here later. Before I go down there, let me come here real quick. You got badges and key rings. That's like for your belt buckle, it looks like. 6-point ball tipped star badge. If you guys have any friends or uncles or homies who is a police officer, anything like that, a sheriff. I got some friends who I work with who are cops. I know some cops. They would love having stuff like this as a gift. If you know anybody in general who's in law enforcement, because nowadays there's a cop who works at every facility. There's cops at hospitals, there's cops at the schools, there's cops at the bank at times just to check in. You got your money guy who comes in and picks up all the money. Those guys, the Brinks truck guys. You got your friends who are in the military. Stuff like this. I like getting people gifts. So if I know I have a friend who is into a certain thing, I'll be like, oh wow, that's right up this person's alley. This would be great for this person. All right, now we're moving into the future a little bit. World War I and World War II. The year is 1914 to 1945. As you can see, these are not revolvers like the others. These are more like automatic pistols. All right. Zoom in a little bit here. Oh yeah, that's old school. You don't see these unless you're like in the movies or playing a Call of Duty game. C96 pistol. This was in Germany, 1896. Okay. I like how it shows the year, 1896. Wow. I'm amazed how people actually used stuff that looks like this. You know, with wooden stock holster. Interesting stuff. And look at these small guns. They look like they could be like a boot gun. Semi-automatic pistol. Germany. 1931. World War II. There's some history buffs out there. This one's got a silencer. Look at that. Semi-automatic pistol with silencer. Germany, 1931. The black ones is kind of hard to see on this camera. You can't see as much detail, but you guys get the idea. Finish that row of pistols. Pause anything if you need to. Stuff like this, man. M1928 submachine gun used by gangsters. USA 1918. Just incredible. When I look at this stuff, I think of Gangster Squad. It's like a Tommy gun. Awesome stuff. Submachine gun. World War II. Wow. They got grenades? What? I didn't even see that. Wow. Pineapple hand grenade. These are the same weight. Looks like the same size. Mark II. They appear to be the same. Maybe just the color's different. Interesting. Let's go up to the rifles a little bit. Let's see here. Submachine gun. Grease gun. Oh, I was gonna say, some of this stuff I saw in like the Captain America movie. You know, because it takes place in... Well, Captain America's in World War II. Yeah. Check this out. Machine gun. Germany, 1934. That's new, by the way. Submachine gun. Got some daggers in there. Different type of grenades. Key rings. Really? A key ring. That's fascinating. Come down here. Now we're moving a little bit closer to modern day a little bit. And it makes sense. It says modern weapons. 1945 to 1982. Yeah, this looks much more... What's the word I'm thinking of? Familiar. Everybody's seen these guns. You got your assault rifle. We all know that one. Assault rifle from the Soviet Union from the 1940s. Okay. I kind of like how it shows the country that they're normally from. That's cool. I guess this gun originated in Italy. That's cool. That way you know what you're looking at. Like, let's say you only want American guns. Well, you can do that because you know it came from America. They got stands too. Stands made of wood. That's sweet. They actually have these stands at Noble Wares because a lot of their guns were displayed on the stands. So go ahead and pause that part number. You can put a... What? You can put an axe on there, swords. Get out of here. See, thanks to the stands, man, I might actually have to collect gun replicas now that I know there's a safe place for me to put them. But check this out. You got different bullets down here. You got your revolver bullets, grand rifle bullet, assault bullet, rifle bullets, submachine gun bullets, cartridges, you call them. Jump back over here. It looks like some type of whip, leather whip. Okay. Sometimes you just might have to whip somebody. And you got your holsters. This is all leather. All leather. All right, fun stuff. Let me zoom back out. Sweet. Let me turn the page. Bam. Okay, part 2. Here we go. Let's just jump right in. You got some swords going on here from the antiquity to VIC. Whatever that means. Antiquity meaning antique, I'm sure. Julius Caesar. Okay. Take that part number down. Colonel and Pirate from the 1490s. Pirates are somewhat popular thanks to Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know if I want to collect pirate stuff. They always did have a fascinating look, but I don't really need pirate stuff in my life. And I like the little emblem. Historical weapons. Very cool. Very. See, this is what's tripping me out. Look at that. Axe pistol. Germany. From the 17th century. It's a pistol. Come on. With an axe on that mug. Get that part number. 1010. Write it down. That, I want to see if they have it on the internet just to see. I wouldn't buy it, but I'm just curious. An axe pistol. Whoa. Where do I go next? Let's come over here a little bit. Flint lock pistol. Okay. And this is all under historic weapons. Do you guys remember The Matrix Reloaded? That's the second Matrix. Remember that room they were in with all the weapons? Not the first one when they used the computer to find all those weapons that Neo needed for the mission. Not that one. I'm talking about the second movie where there was an actual room, like a big. It looked like a ballroom full of weapons. It reminds me of this. Or this reminds me of that, rather. Because if I had a house, like a big house, with a room like that, with just nothing but wall space, I would totally get some of this stuff. Real quick, let me go up here. Hangers, meaning you can hang that inside your house, outside your house, in your garage, wherever, in your basement, in your man cave, whatever. Shield hanger. List flower hanger. Just a little decoration. I'm sure it screws into the wall. Coins. Okay. Coins. They come in different sizes, it looks like. So if these were like our coins, probably this would be the penny, that would be the nickel, that would be the dime, that would be the quarter. Something like that. This says gold 100, so maybe this is worth 100 cents. So it's like a dollar coin. Silver piece of 8. I don't have the metric system in front of me, so forgive me. We got more leather right there. Some type of belt that holds the good sword. Speaking of swords, here we go. Now, Noble Wares does have some of these. Oh yeah. This is still the historic weapons section. I would get one of these at some point. I just don't know when. You got your muskets, flintlock rifle with bayonet. This thing looks long, man. If you count the bayonet, this looks like a 6-foot long gun. It looks like it. And it tells you 183 centimeters. Same with this one. Oop. 190 centimeters. You got the part number. Just incredible stuff. Let's move down here for a second. You got letter openers. They range from 11 centimeters to 20-something centimeters. Very cool stuff. I hope you guys are excited about this as I am, because I'm excited just looking at it. You know what I mean? Panel plies. Am I saying that right? Panoplies. That's the shield with the two swords that connect to it. I'm sure I'm butchering that word. Yeah, if I had a room like that, I'm sure I have one of these in here. You know, maybe in the future after I pay my house off, I'll get a bigger house. If and when I have a family, but even if I don't, I'll get a bigger house. And what I'll do is make sure this house has a room, just a big open room that I can do this. Because this is like, wow. Cannons. Excuse me. They got cannons. I mean, Civil War cannon, Naval War cannon, Napoleon cannon, medieval, ballistic. I mean, this is just insane that there's an artist out there who took the time to come out with this stuff. It's insane. Before I go over here, let me go back here. I showed you guys those, right? So now let's come here. Medieval Europe. What would that be? The 11th century? Or no, V is 5. So that's the 6th century and up. Yeah, X is 10. So the 6th century to the 15th century, if I'm not mistaken. Viking axe, Valkyrie's axe, Viking axe, battle axe from Germany. Without further ado, let's come down here, shall we? I wanted to save the sword section for last. Hey, man. I mean, look at this. Look at that. Battle axe. Masonic sword. These I like. These are expensive. I saw these at Noble Wares. I mean, I think I need a new light bulb. My light keeps going out on me. Yeah, something like that. I would like to have at least one medieval sword. I have a fantasy sword, but it's not a medieval sword. Come down here. Like, I get something like this. Okay, light bulb, make up your mind. We're making a video here. We need to be professional. I get something like that. Isn't that like beautiful? Hugo de Payne's sword. First Crusade, France, 1118. But all these look nice. I had to save this section for last. What I'm looking for with a sword, the handle has to be on point. It has to be comfortable when you hold it. So something like that. But this doesn't look bad either. Which I'm not going to be wielding the thing. I'm just going to look at it. Still, when I do hold it, I would like for it to be comfortable. So that's the DENIX guide or handbook, whatever you want to call it. Brochure, pamphlet. And then it's got some information here. Oh, and it shows you a warning. You can pause that. I guess a little disclaimer. They should be used only in home as scale model. Yeah, we know. Don't use it in public. Don't go around scaring people. Don't terrorize your neighborhood. Even if you worked at a museum, even if you're like a history teacher or a government teacher, it'd be cool to like bring this in, show it to your kids at school, high school kids, if your kids are mature. But yeah, definitely if you worked at a museum, even if you worked at a police station, you could have this maybe behind a glass case. I'm trying to think. The fire department. The fire department could have stuff like this in there, because they're known to use axes. So if you know anybody who, definitely military folk, if you know anybody who's into any of this stuff, you got your part numbers, you got the website, I'll put more in the description box, you know where to look now. I got a guy right now, a buddy of mine, he used to be my boss years ago, and he watches my videos, so shout out to him. He knows who he is. But he's what you would consider a gunsmith. He went to college, I think, for gunsmith, and or was it trade school? Anyway, he knows all about this type of stuff. So like for his birthday, he would like something like this, because he's real into guns. I got a couple buddies who are like that, just gun experts, gun nuts. And then you got your other buddies who are like the sword experts. But everybody's an expert in some type of field. Even if you're not an expert in it, it's cool to just appreciate it and just love it for what it is. You know, I know a guy who, my old teacher, he told us this story that he went to a funeral, like his uncle's funeral, and it was one of those military funerals. So during those funerals, you know, they shoot the guns off. Anyway, he said he was a kid, he picked up one of the bullets, and I don't know if he still does it, but back then he said to this day, he carries that bullet shell everywhere he goes. Even in the airport, he said he'd take it in his pocket everywhere. And they were like, "What's this?" He's like, "Oh, it's a bullet shell. But you can't reuse it because it's just a shell, you know." But yeah. So take a look. Let me know what you think. We shall talk about it in the comment section. And I will talk to you guys in the next video. Good to see you guys. Thanks for dropping by. I got a lot of stuff I want to show you guys. A lot. So, let me get to it. Alright. It's Gregatron. And have a good Sunday. Have a great week. I'll talk to you. And peace.